Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi, and today we are jumping in the way back machine to do a little bro drafting. That's right, the Brothers War back in rotation. This quick draft is actually a phantom event. So unlike a lot of my content, the value drafting concept will not come into play because, of course, today we're simply trying to build the best deck and get through the event as quickly as possible. So hopefully that puts a fresh new spin on Limited for you. But before we get into all that, take just a moment to like, comment, and subscribe because that kind of thing really keeps this boat moving. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. And I gotta change up the view because it's just what I'm used to. Soul Partition is actually a fairly good card, but not something that represents well in the limited environment. Sorry about the dead mic there for a moment. I just really had to get that frog out of my throat. The probably best card in this is the Excavation Explosion, very solid card for red. And then Blanchwood Prowler. Generally in this format, I try and go white early, but there's just not a lot here. Generate tempo. Yeah, I don't love Soul Partition. I don't love the Self-Assembler, although if you do end up in the right deck, Self-Assembler can be very, very good. I think what I'm going to do here is take the Excavation Explosion. I think that is the most obvious first pick card in there. And boy, if I was doing this for an actual value draft, I'd be all over that Mind's Eye. And really, it's not bad, even in this. This might be a card that we end up taking and wishing we were really adding that to our collection. After that, we're probably looking at Bushwhack, and I don't know. Green tends to be a little bit weaker overall. The Boulder Golem is ironically probably the second best card in this pack after Bushwhack. But yeah, I think we're going to go for the Mind's Eye here and see if we can make that work. We'll do a little bit of an experiment here. Dragon Engine's okay. Blitz Automation I think is pretty solid. Swiftfoot Boots I think is overrated. So I think we're kind of staying with red here and going Blitz Automation for our third pick. And here we're back to another Bushwhack. And although the Rock is pretty strong as well. The Altar really needs a build around. I mean, you can't just pick that up and hope to make it work. I think I'm going to go Bushwhack here. Green looked pretty strong there in the initial couple packs, and maybe we'll get some of that to wheel. Scrapwork Mutt, I think, might be one of the most underrated cards. Battlefield Butcher also pretty good, and Gigamole is surprisingly good. And honestly, I'm trying to decide which I like better, the Mutt or the Gigamole. And I think we're going to have to go Mutt here, just because we are pretty strongly red early on. Scrapwork Cohort is decent. The Foundry Inspector can actually be quite good. And, well, essentially colorless. I think that's where we're going to go here. It looks like we're mono artifacts. Ornithopter isn't something I'm looking to do. The Golem isn't bad, and we could end up like a red-green artifacts deck. I don't hate that. I do think it's stronger than the Frontliner, which I think is probably the second best card here. Although Latinum Adept can be good, but it's probably only good in that blue X draw 2 style deck. So I think we're going to go Golem here. And I don't love giant growth. Emergency weld is pretty good. I don't know that I'd want to splash black for it though. I think raise to the ground is probably decent. And I mean, it's kind of removal. It's almost premium removal in this set. So yeah, we'll go raise to the ground. Morning, Maynard. Glad to have you. Yeah, that's kind of a mixed bag there, the 1-0 and 0-1. Well, hopefully the quick drafts work out. Let's see here. Okay, so that's the same self-assembler we saw earlier. I started to say, wow, there's two floating around. How cool. But there's not. Both of these artifacts are pretty terrible. Combat Courier is great if you're playing blue. I don't think we're going to be. Arms Race, I don't love. I mean, by the time you can do this, like, the cards that you're putting out are generally not great. I think we take the self-assembler here. And we got another Boulder Golem. That's pretty awesome. That's that green we talked about coming back around. Love me some of that. And I think maybe Juggernaut is where we go here. I mean, I don't love it. Energy Refractor is kind of mediocre. I mean, it does let you draw a card. I don't think we have anything here that isn't potentially playable. Like, there's no off-color stuff or anything like that. And, yeah, I think Swift Foot Boots is just really overrated there with a pro rating of 3. I just don't think that equipment does enough. I think we're going to take the Juggernaut here. And, wow, there's just not a lot here, sadly. I mean, we could take Depth Charge Colossus and try and play it off color. Same could be said for Onulet. I don't really think we're going to be in the Sacrifice deck. I'm not feeling that at the moment. So I think... I mean, is the rock good enough to splash blue? I mean, I kind of have to say no, but at the same time, I wonder. I think it's better than trying to play Depth Charge Colossus as a 9 casting cost, colorless. So yeah, we'll go with the rock here, and maybe that's our first card we're not playing. Fall of Krug. I just don't love that at all. I think Supply Drop, again, probably better than trying to play Depth Charge Colossus. I'm going to go ahead and drop the rock down here. Wow, these are two terrible cards for us. I don't think we're going to play white. Sad. Takasi is pretty awesome, but we are so not in that deck. Recruitment Officer also very good. Gaia's Cursier might be the thing to do here. Epic Confrontation also pretty decent. We don't have much in the way of combat tricks or removal yet. So that could be a thing. I mean, we're very high on curve, so I think taking the combat trick here might be the better way to go. I don't love the talisman by any means. So yeah, we'll go with a combat trick here. Giant Cinder Maw, you say? And, well, I think another Golem might be better. I mean, we already have 2. That card is insanely good, and that probably means we're casting 1 late. which could be pretty interesting. The Prospector's pretty nice, but obviously we're not in white. Yeah, I'm going to take another Golem. And what do we got here? Over the top. Non-land permanents they control. Put all permanent cards that they reveal this way onto the battlefield. Wow. I mean, I don't know. Isn't that kind of win more? I think I kind of like Ichor Wellspring better. Another Boulder Golem, but good God, how many of those can we run? And Gaia's Gift. I mean, I don't think I want another Race to the Ground. I mean, I think I like the Wellspring better than I do Gaia's Gift. So that's where we're going to go here. Wow. Bonesaw, terrible. I don't think I've seen anywhere in this limited environment a place where that card was actually good. Hulking Metamorph is pretty awesome, but we're just not in the right colors for it. Red is kind of dry here. So is green, for that matter. I think we kind of have to take Scrapwork Mutt here, which is a very good card, don't get me wrong. And, I don't know, maybe hope that Whirling Strike wheels, which is entirely possible. Audacity is probably the correct choice here. Excavation Explosion is another really good one that might help us actually get to some of our top end stuff. So yeah, I got to take the Explosion here. The Power Stone and the removal factor is just too good to pass up. Liquid Metal Coating is just not where we want to be. Starting a Cliff Stomper can be good. I mean, we are going to be very heavy red, but I don't know if we're that heavy. Sibling Rivalry is decent, but we don't have a way to get rid of... I don't love the Bulwark. I mean, the Chaplain is probably the best white card. Disfigure's also very good. I feel like we're in subprime colors here. Fog of War is just terrible. I mean, alright, I'm going to take the Cliff Stomper. I think we're probably too late to jump colors. Although, I mean, there's just wide open white here. I mean, the Thopter Architect is great. What did we have in white? Union of the Third Path is the only other one we had. Perimeter Patrol is pretty good. Rock Hunter, I think this is a little underrating Rock Hunter. But rather than Race to the Ground number 3, I think I'd rather have Perimeter Patrol. Wow, Takasi just coming back around. We're still in no better position to play it. But our Courtier did wheel. That's very unexpected. So we will definitely snatch that up as a late pick here. Wow, I never thought I'd be saying this, but Giant Growth is probably the best thing here for us. And it may not make the cut. I mean, it's just generally not that good. Gaia's Gift. So here we are at the end, being able to just scoop up a lot of decent green cards. Did not expect that. None of this is very good. I guess Military Discipline is the best of the 3 here, just in case we end up having to go white. Another late Gaia's Gift, I will take that. I don't know that we play both. Wow. I mean, I'm actually going to take the rebuff because we did pick up some decent blue stuff earlier. And Mishra's Domination. Okay, I don't think that's going to make the cut, but... Oh, wow, look at that. Somebody's going to be very, very happy that went Soldiers. Engineers, I think, is far and away the best card in here for us. And there's several good rare cards here that I kind of want to wheel. Strong Bull is almost good enough that I take it over the Engineer. But just not quite. The Engineer is clearly where we want to be. Howling Mine. Do I want to do absurd things? I mean, Haywire Mite's pretty good. I think the Honor Guard is probably a little better than what it shows up there. I generally like the Forge Chanter, but we're clearly not in a prowess deck. I mean, I think Haywire might be the way to go here. Although the Chanter, even in a non-prowess deck, I mean, just a Ward 2, he blocks kind of all day and is a much better 2-drop than Haywire. All right. I talked myself in and out of that card. Crazy. Blitz Automation or Ironclaw Crusher. I think we have to go Crusher. Mightstone's Animation is an amazing card if you're in blue. So yeah, I think we go Crusher here. And we've got some pretty amazing things here. Do we want the Scrapsmith? Fog of War, we definitely don't. And I don't really love Mishra. Yeah, I think we're going to go Scrapsmith here. And wow, another Engineer. I kind of like that. And we might be able to pick up that Mishra on the wheel. It's not a beloved card here. I mean, a single copy of Shoot Down or another Raise to the Ground. I mean, I think I like the first copy of Shoot Down more than I do the second copy of Raise to the Ground. But if I didn't already have a Raise to the Ground, that's the way I think we would be going here. Stone Retrieval Unit is just okay. Although it does let me get to my higher stuff here. How are we on removal? I mean, Bushwhack, Giant Growth is a combat trick. That'll kind of end up being removal. I mean, we got a lot of removal. You know what? I think we're going to go with the Retrieval Unit here, just for diversity. We've got quite a bit in combat tricks already. There's our over the top. Nobody's wanting that. So there's our Strong Bull. That is probably the best card for us here. I don't really love Tinkering. I played with that in season and I was just never happy with the overall results. So we're going to scoop us up a very late Strong Bull there. Audacity or Rust Goliath. I think I'm going to go with Audacity here. Usually I don't like auras, but that one kind of replaces itself. And another late Strong Bull over the Sigil of Valor, I think is a pretty no-brain thought there. Razor Maw or Mishra's Domination or a Stupid Drake. Boy, can you tell how I feel about that one. I mean, it does have haste, but yeah, I think the Razor Maw probably won't make the cut. We've got a pretty solid deck here, to be honest. And I mean, I guess domination here. There's some very good cards to be this late. I don't understand that. I don't understand why Thopter Architect or Mightstone's Animation is here. So yeah, we'll take the domination. There's our late Mishra. Not even sure that's going to make the cut, but it might. Wasteful Harvest. I mean, it's what I'm going to take, but I don't think the AI is going to put it in the deck for us. We'll take the Drake as a potentially playable card, and there's the card I said I hated. The Tinkerer. Alright, so what's our deck helper got us do? Oh, big surprise. It's got us very heavily red-green, and yeah, so we wants us to cut Giant Growth, Mishra's Domination wants us to cut both of those. Razormaw is out. Tano's Tinkering also out. The Drake, all these late picks is what it's cutting out on us. Scrapsmith, yeah, we got better things to do with 3 mana than that, for sure. We're cutting 1 Raise to the Ground. That's a little surprising. And the Stone Retrieval unit, the Chanter it wants us to drop, and Perimeter Patrol. And where did Mishra's Juggernaut go? There we go. We're still a little heavy here. I'm not sure what I missed here. Oh, Wasteful Harvest. There's one. The Tano's Tinkering, we cut. Mishra's Domination, we cut both of those. The Razormaw. Did we cut the Swift Drake? Yes, we did. Oh, Supply Drop. That's one that it wants us to cut. So the ground, the Retrieval unit. Oh wow, it's actually recommending we only go 15 land? That's kind of crazy. Alright, let's take a look at this situation here. What do we have that makes Power Stones and... Okay, so we got 2 Engineers, those make Power Stones. Bushwhack lets us go grab a land, so, okay, so that's like 3. And Foundry Inspector is a cost reduction. And Excavation Explosion makes Power Stones. So, alright, this is what it's wanting us to run. And I'm kind of inclined to trust the AI here and see if this is actually playable. Because, I mean, honestly, that's more of a 4-drop. That's probably a 3-drop. Another 4-drop. So, I mean, we do have a pretty low curve. We've got the Bushwhacks potentially on 1 to go fetch a land. Alright, it might sound crazy, and I might end up regretting it, but we're going to run this and see where we go here. Excuse me, the frog is back. But a little water goes a long way. And we're immediately punished because there's no mana fixing whatsoever. But we'll give it a shot here. Oh, wow. Okay, I feel better now because they're playing really bad cards. Really bad cards. Wow. And I mean, that card's okay at best. I'm going to go for the Power Stone here. Because like next turn we could do some great stuff here. Yeah, all right. I will take 3. All right. I think we go Foundry and attack 2. I mean, at this point, I think we're just trying to curve, right? And throw more stuff down than they can. Unfortunately, we can't quite double spell. Disappointing. Alright, so we're going to throw Golem number 1 down. And I don't think we swing here. I think we just keep building up our position. If we can draw a land, we can double spell next turn and really be ahead on board state. Well, looky there. I'm willing to take trades on both of those if need be. Otherwise, we're hitting them for a third of their life. Yeah, I'm good with all of that. I mean, next turn is a little less impressive, but we're potentially swinging for 7. And like Guy's Gift up. I'm surprised we haven't seen any removal here, but he might just be thinking about what he wants to remove here. Yeah, that's what I figured. Probably the Inspector. Yep. I mean, Guy's Gift would have been nice to save that, but it is what it is. Drawing a land lets us be pretty explosive next turn. I mean, Disciples of Gix, is that ever good in Limited? Well, I mean, he did manage to grab 3 artifacts. Alright, so we got our land here. Which means we should be able to not only punch in for some damage, but we should be able to remove his Disciple without too much problem. Grab another Power Stone, which gives us the big Golem next turn. I'm a fan. That gives him some recursion. I have no idea what he's... Sure, Harvester. I mean, I think Big Golem just secures the board state next turn. Yeah, let's play Big Golem while we have the chance here. And again, I think we just hold ground. Well, that is unfortunate. But we will make lemonade if we can. I mean, that gives us a creature that can very successfully block his Harvester. This guy can come down and then next turn start swinging. I don't hate it. Sure. We're going to say no blocks here. We go back to 20. Feels okay. going to send the team. I think we're pretty good against the crackback. Although, I think he's got 2 juggernauts in there. That could be problematic, to say the least. Or we just win. Well, I mean, that's true too, but, you know, them just giving stuff away and whatever, I don't really feel like that's an active exploit at that point, but I can certainly see where other people might feel differently. I'm going to try this. It's kind of garbage, but we'll see. It could do a thing. I mean, Devil Strongbolt does not feel terrible. Especially when they're playing cards like Power Suit. Okay. This is starting to feel a little reminiscent of the first game where they were playing really terrible cards. Survivor is not bad. Award 2. And that just feels bad. So what I really want to do here, I mean, I think we want a golem. Small golem. See if we can sneak 2 in here, or they might do something silly. No, they're not. Okay. They're reasonably good players. They know traps. There, sure. Is he going to move his armor back? He sure is. Okay. I mean, I do think we Audacity here, right? Alright, he's done. We just had enough board presence. And before we go, I want to take just a moment to thank my totally awesome patrons for supporting me and allowing me to apply my passion into a community. And of course, before we go, I've got some suggestions for your next step.